Welcome to Tiger Wolf. I'm Josh, and this is David.
Please be aware, this podcast contains strong language and spoilers.
Hey, David. What the fuck is with Leon and Chris being Benjamin Button?
Go. Dude, I don't know. I mean, maybe they don't want to show their age and they're dyeing their hair or something, but even Chris's facial structure in the new movie looks younger than he did in 6, and this takes place after 6.
Okay, now maybe give our audience a little bit of idea of what exactly you're talking about.
Well, maybe if Resident Evil stopped giving me a fucking Vendetta, I wouldn't be so gripey.
Ha 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 ha, it's funny.
Yeah, I know. Terrible joke is terrible. Today, I'm going to be rambling on about the most recent animated film in the Resident Evil stuff, which is Resident Evil Vendetta.
Which seems like a weird subtitle name for a series primarily about zombies and fighting against people who make zombies.
It did seem like that to me too, until the story started, until watching it, and then the context made more sense.
Is it what's her face? Red dress?
No, it has nothing to do with Ada.
Really?
Yeah.
But it says Vendetta.
It has nothing to do with Ada.
She like constantly screws you up and helps you at the same time. And potentially...
she is in love with Leon.
Yeah.
She won't admit it, but she is. He admits it readily.
He admits that she's in love with him?
No, that he's in love with her.
Okay, because that didn't process quite well.
I think one time he did look at her and said, well, I mean, you love me. And she just smiled at him and then walked away. But so, this initially it picks up with Chris and a group of SEALs going to apprehend an arms dealer. And this was giving me the aesthetic of the place they were going to was giving me flashbacks to the first Resident Evil. The mansion they went to looked just like the mansion from 1. It was in a forest. There was fog. I'm like, I'm uncomfortable right now.
Chris, we need to go. David, you know he's in the video game and you're not. Or not the video game, but the movie. And you're just like, Chris, we need to go.
Yeah, Chris, we need to go. Nah, cancel this shit.
David, you're not Leon.
But so one of the Marines is like, so you're him. You're the big bad Chris Redfield. You got any suggestions on how I need to deal with zombies or whatever we might run into, these bioweapons?
Does he break his arm and shoot him in the head?
No, he goes.
Oh, because that's exactly how you handle zombies.
He looks at Chris looks at him and goes, you got any family? He's like, yeah, I got a little girl. She turns 2. He's like, all right, now picture her trying to maul you. See if you can get past that.
I really expected this to go to you should probably email her. Like that's
where Chris should have gone with that. But no, he went the make this guy feel like make sure he understands that this is not a game.
I get it.
So they get there and they disband into groups and they're fanning out looking around this mansion. And a couple of them are in what looks like the fucking dining room from the first Resident Evil.
So what you're saying is this is Umbrella Site 2.
It's what it feels like. Like
this from your description, it sounds like it's what would be what's a synonym for Hive?
The colony?
So like ants instead of
you asked. Bees. I just threw something out there.
I'll take it.
But so, like, you see something kind of move around inside the fireplace behind one of the guys, and then it flicks over to another group that's investigating what looks like a kid's room. The reason they're there is they're trying to apprehend an arms dealer, and Chris lets them know, yeah, I had a operative go missing with her son. So, like, there's something moving under the blanket.
Like a little boy?
Yeah. There's something moving under the blanket. And one of the guys slowly inches forward. He throws the blanket back. It's a remote control car stuck on its back.
So
it's like,
where's the controller?
Okay, whatever. So they turn and then they hear zzz, zzz. They look back and the wheels are turning. Oh, fuck. He picks it up and he looks at it and it does the wheels again. He sets it on the bed and he sets it back upside down on the bed and it does it again. And then you see someone stand up behind them,
Of course.
from the dresser or next to the dresser.
Because zombies cannot see me level 10.
They turn around, they see him. Dude that was looking at the remote control car on the bed gets snatched under the fucking bed.
Nice.
Chris runs into the room because they start shooting. Chris starts running up there gets into the room and he sees a little boy. The guards are gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. There's no blood in the room. They're just gone.
Well, one is under the bed, dead, and one is in the closet, dead.
And he tilts head and he says the kid's name. The kid turns, looks at him and goes, yeah. And then zombie kids start crawling out from underneath the bed. The kid is like ripped open right here across his jaw.
Across the jawline.
It's unnerving.
So he responded?
He responded. So that's something straight out of the book series, which last I knew wasn't canon, but...
Oh, the island? Is that where that starts?
Caliban Cove.
Yeah, that's the way they go to the island.
In Maine, yeah.
Pretty sure it's the island.
Second book.
That's when...
but that follows Rebecca
and Trevor and it's Barry and some people going to the island, right?
No, it's just Rebecca from the original Stars team because she joins a British Stars team who's led by a guy named David. And she ends up falling in love with one of the other Stars guys and he ends up getting killed.
Is it? I don't know. It's been too long since I read it.
But yeah, anyway. I know when he talked, I was like, whoa, that's something straight out of Caliban Cove. That's a little unnerving. And then they all started crawling out. And I'm like,
they were going to go there eventually.
Nope, I'm out. What I thought. If I had been Chris, I'd been like, nope, I'm out. He starts shooting. Well, they're zombies. He's trained for this.
Chris has one reaction when faced with zombies. They dead.
It flicks back to the guys in the dining room. And a woman who's missing from like the ribs down, like her spinal cord's hanging there, but everything else is gone, crawls out and just starts jumping from guy to guy, biting them and tearing into them.
It's insane. They have the lowest response time of anybody in the fucking SEALs. Was it SEALs?
Yeah, they were SEALs.
They were SEAls?
Yeah.
These are Navy SEAls?
These are guys who didn't believe this shit actually existed.
Doesn't matter if they believe it or not. They should still be well combat trained in order. This is SEAL Team 6, man. They're supposed to be able to get people out of North Korea.
They get her to go away. Two of them take off running down the hallway to get away from her. And they're running and you hear as
like a
running,
dart?
And I'm like, did they just fall apart because they ran through fucking wires.
Wires or lasers?
Wires. Like Walter from Helsing.
That's... Hold on. Were you watching an anime or a Resident Evil movie?
The guy they're after is at the end of the hall watching the bodies fall apart and smiles and then turns and goes to go outside. Chris is fighting off the kids. He's fighting off the other SEAL team members and he's like, I can't escape. So he just jumps out the window. Something
he should have done in the first mansion.
No, there were dogs.
You kill the dogs because you can kill the dogs.
You can, but so
as a him, you kill some dogs, and as Jill, you kill some dogs.
He hits the ground. He gets up and he starts. He's like, all right. He gets his pistol out and he sees the guy. He goes, you're under arrest.
He's still committed to this.
He's still committed. This dude moves like fucking Wesker. He looks like Wesker. But it's not Wesker.
Like, is his name Travis? Trevor?
It's not Trevor either, thankfully. But are you talking about Wesker's son, Jake?
No. I was talking about the guy who employed tried to get Barry and I want to say Jill and like people together to go on another adventure, and was like talking them on the airplane.
Yeah.
Adventure. Not adventure, but you know what I mean.
This guy looked a lot like I was uncomfortable how much he looked like Wesker. Like it bugged me.
Like the description was just the blonde hair, slick back, shitty eyeglasses that he thinks are Ray-Bans, and
no glasses, but blonde hair, slick back, trench coat. Like I thought I was looking at Wesker. I'm like, no, your ass is dead. I shot
for some
you
reason,
with a rocket
I thought
launcher.
you were talking about a book, and I completely forgot it was actually a movie.
I shot you with a rocket launcher in the face. Your ass is dead.
Well, I mean, look at the movies. Wesker doesn't die until the very last one.
I still haven't seen that one, actually.
It's not. I would say it's better than the one and maybe two previous to it.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed it.
So the zombies start walking out, coming out through the windows and the door and whatnot. And he's disarmed Chris at this point. And
I hope you mean just of the weapon, because it's hard to know in the series.
Just his weapon. And he looks at Chris. He goes, and Chris is like, why? He's yelling at him. He's pissed. Chris is.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, well, see, here's the interesting thing about my product, Mr. Redfield. And he walks right through the zombies and turns around and goes, they know who the enemy is.
Because they're intelligent zombies.
Yeah.
I assume they're intelligent zombies because
they're intelligent enough because the kid talked.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The kid responded.
And you think, okay, this is it for Chris. Here's no getting out of this. Helicopter comes up over the wood line with a 50 cal and just
B team.
Yeah,
because B team didn't go first this time.
Exactly, they were smart. But they lay waste, and it jumps ahead to. This is where I thought was interesting because I thought the kid talking sparked Caliban Cove in my head. The only member from the original games that's in Caliban Cove is Rebecca Chambers, the medic from Bravo team. It switches to her.
That's what I was thinking.
Doing research on a new virus that's popping up, causing people to go rabid. That seems like zombie attacks. It seems like the T virus, but it doesn't act like the T virus should. It goes to her doing research.
It could be the G virus. Isn't that the one in Caliban Cove? G?
No, it's actually T and G are both in.
It's O?
I want to say it's D is what he used. D or B.
It's used, don't they just use the first initial of their last name? After T? Isn't G like the first initial of his last name?
William Birkin.
Yeah, that's right.
Made G, and I don't remember. I want to say it's B or D was the one from Caliban Cove. But
then it has to do with like one of the chemicals or something.
Yeah, and she figures out a way to inoculate for it.
Cool.
Basically, render it useless.
Well, hold on.
Attacked.
Inoculate or cure?
Both. She can cure it and inoculate your
and prevent it.
And prevent it. She actually has to cure herself within 5 minutes because she sent her findings to the WHO, and
the WHO,
the place she's working at, gets attacked.
Well, I hope she made enough.
So she's actually the only person who makes it out of the building.
Of course, because she
goes to where the serum is and uses it on herself. She's gonna die either way, so it cures her.
If you found that out about it as the researcher, wouldn't you be one of the first people inoculated from it? Like, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. She hadn't gotten to the point where they were going to use it. Also, they still needed to test it.
How did she go from a STARS member, like the weakest link of B Team, to
the sole survivor of B Team?
That's because she hid in the closet.
True, and she sprayed Chris in the face with a first aid spray.
Yeah, well, I mean, she healed his eyes.
She blinded him actually for temporarily.
But how do you go from B Team on STARS to head researcher on this? Like,
you got to think it's been almost 20 years.
Has it?
Yeah, It
Oh,
happened
I'm
in
sorry.
98.
I saw the pictures of Leon and Chris, and I wasn't sure.
It happened in 98. This takes place in 2018.
So Leon's 40 something, and Chris is
Almost 50? Chris was
Rebecca's
23.
Rebecca's probably low 40s.
Yeah, she's early 40s.
Still, man, that's a big career shift. Good on her for making that shift. It's hard.
Claire went to being an aid worker after the events of Resident Evil 2.
I don't mean to be offensive, but becoming an aid worker significantly easier than becoming a head researcher in for the Who. Basically.
Shelby Birkin, Birkin's daughter, she became a special agent for the federal government.
She just grew up. She just grew up and chose a life path.
She grew up and, is also Superwoman, basically, because she can heal from almost any wound.
Yeah, but doesn't she have to keep her, or did they heal that?
She has to keep injecting herself.
Yeah. So she could potentially become a zombie at any point.
If she misses something, yeah.
I'm just saying, that's a risk.
On it for like
I guess that's not that risky of a special agent put out there, because if she becomes a zombie, then they just have a zombie outbreak where you sent her anyway.
Yeah. There's that, I guess. But so
she's got to be their favorite, actually.
The BSAA, the people who are Chris's employers, sent him there. And he comes walking up and he goes, "Well, you look okay, Rebecca." And she looks up and she jumps up and she gives him a hug. "Chris, what are you doing here?" He goes,
What are you doing here? Do you remember the people that attacked you when they were like undead?
Gesture. Yeah, she has to beat one of the other researchers she's really good friends with a fire extinguisher.
Dude, after you've gone through this once, like, I think things like that become easier to do.
I don't know.
I think especially since she didn't leave
Leon,
she didn't lead
but
she didn't lead her life ignoring that this had happened to her.
True.
She did something about it, you know?
Yeah.
So like those memories are still with her. Yeah, sure, I'm not saying it'd be easy for her.
Yeah.
But I think it would be easier than the first time she might have had to do something like that.
That's fair. But like,
which was spray Chris in the face with.
No, she actually had to kill.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember his name.
What one of Team B?
No, he was a guy. He was a Marine who was going to be court-martialed, and Umbrella had bought him from the government as a test subject because he was going to be court-martialed and sentenced to death. He ends up running into Rebecca during the course of the events of Bravo Team getting slaughtered. And they have to work together for a while, and then he gets bitten, and she has to kill him. But, so, Chris is like, "All right, I'm going to need help with this." And she's like, "Do you have anybody in mind?" And my mind's like, yeah, there's Barry, there's Claire, your sister, there's Jill.
Well,
who are you going to go to?
They don't know where Jill is. They never know. Never know where Jill is. She just shows up against Wesker or helping Wesker, and then she'll disappear and then show up against Wesker or helping Wesker.
So he's like, "Yeah, I know somebody." So they go to bug a special agent who's on vacation. It is 10 in the morning and he is halfway through a bottle of vodka or whiskey.
So you're saying he's a quitter?
Yeah, he's tired of the bullshit.
You did. I don't think you gathered what I was trying to say there.
Leon's
only halfway through the bottle.
Leon's tired of being.
Was it whiskey?
Yeah, it was whiskey, I believe.
Okay, well then he's made a poor choice. Unless he just likes the flavor of whiskey. You don't drink whiskey to drink.
He might.
You drink something like vodka or tequila to drink. Whiskey's a flavor thing.
So they show up and he basically just tries to shove them off. He's like, "Look, I don't give a fuck. I'm not helping you. I'm not going to do anything. I don't care."
Aw, Leon cares.
And
you don't help the president's daughter out of these situations and not care.
Rebecca draws some of her blood. She sets it down. She goes, "At least do me the favor, either of you," because him and Chris are arguing. "If something happens to me, get this to someone you trust in a lab so that they can take care of the cure."
Mm-hmm.
And abruptly gets abducted.
She's just standing near the door and just whoop out the door.
She went to the bathroom and then blood starts flowing out from underneath one of the stalls. So, like an idiot, she pushes the stall open and the chick has her throat slit. And then she gets grabbed by the back of the head and slammed into the mirror and then just dragged away.
Instead of going, hey, Chris, I've never been good at this combat thing.
So she gets abducted by the guy.
Wesker guy?
Yeah, the Wesker guy.
2.0.
This is where Leon or Chris, starts opening up a little bit about why this guy probably has the vendetta he has. Because he was an arms dealer. U.S. government saw a chance to take him out. They took it. It was his wedding day. He's the only one who survived. He woke up holding his wife's severed arm.
Well, so there's the problem. You got to save the body, not the arm.
Oh, it gets really creepy because she looks like Rebecca. And that took a really dark turn once he saw her. Very uncomfortable turn. I'll get to it.
Anyway, so
he's doing all of this
because he was an arms dealer doing bad things and got his shit tore up because of it.
Yes. They took his wife they took his two.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that was the right way for that to be handled because I don't think, chances are his wife had nothing to do with his arms dealing, but at the same time, here's a quote I've learned recently from the internet.
Follow through.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or also, another variation of it, play bitch games, win bitch prizes.
So, that's where his entire reason is going. He's trying to destabilize the U.S. government and be able to be like, look, my product's controllable.
And how did he get that? Nobody else could.
Yeah.
How did this arms dealer get that?
Yeah, that's...
Umbrella spent a lot of time and money trying to get that.
But so they start to launch an attack in New York. Him and his group, the arms dealer. Chris realizes, all right, it's going down in New York. So he convinces Leon to help him.
It's a huge, densely populated area.
Uh-huh. Leon's like, and they're looking through a bunch of files that a reluctant informant had given Leon that Leon didn't know that was connected to this stuff. And then they figure it out. So Leon, they're looking through the files and he has bottles of the cure already made. This guy had the cure to begin with because the way his virus works is there's the virus. There's a trigger virus.
So is it two viruses competing against each other the whole time?
Sort of. There's the initial virus that will turn you into... So
it's a sleeper virus is what you're describing.
Yeah, there's a virus that turns you into the undead. And then once you're undead, the trigger virus activates, allowing you to be controlled.
So the kid wasn't necessarily intelligent, just... control, had enough mental faculties to do what he's told to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which would make it an amazing weapon.
So does it only work if they're already dead? Otherwise, why wouldn't you just make? You could just have sleeper agents anywhere. One fucking blow dart.
That's I think what he actually did. In the background.
But you get what I'm saying? You could just have people who are sleeper agents.
He wanted to make it He wanted to make it a spectacle.
This world is also all about the best weapon is people who aren't alive.
Yeah.
So
the best weapon is a bioweapon, which
that's not wrong.
That's not wrong. It's true. It's morally reprehensible. But
reprehensible?
Yeah, okay. Did I say that right?
I think you said apprehensible, but I think you meant to say reprehensible. Yeah. I don't know because my hearing isn't the best. All I really heard was the hensible part.
Fair enough. So they decide they're going to go A, to save Rebecca. B, stop him. C, spread the cure over New York. Just in case he manages. Oh, look, he did manage to set the outbreak in motion. Okay, we definitely need to set the cure.
So
this ends up having a really awesome part where Leon's driving a motorcycle fighting two Cerberus, the dog, the zombie dogs.
Cerberus?
Yeah, he's fighting two of them driving down the road on a motorcycle.
So they're fast.
It's amazing. Like that was my favorite part of this movie.
Really? I think one liquor could have been better than two Cerberus.
Oh, I'm really glad they didn't have liquors.
I guess like liquors aren't really possible with what he's trying to do.
Yeah. Well,
Cerberus
maybe.
makes sense because it just turns the dog undead and then makes them controllable.
So Chris invades the guy's hideout trying to get to Rebecca.
I really feel like A should have been spread the cure. B should have been heal the guy or stop the guy. And C,
save Rebecca.
Save Rebecca. Like, I understand she's important to them.
She's important to Chris.
Well, to him, then. Regardless, my point was that save everybody first.
Well, Chris goes into the dude's hideout, and there's just zombies galore in here already. And he fights. He's fighting his way up. Now, as this is going on, the arms dealer injected Rebecca with a stronger version of the virus because she'd already been inoculated. So he's like, well, I can fix that. It might take a little longer to infect you, but
that's not how viruses
it'll work.
You don't.
And then he proceeds
if your body
to look
knows
at the doctor and tell him, by the way, before she completely dies, take off her left arm and put my wife's on it. And attach my wife's.
I don't. So when he has an HJ later, it's going to feel like he remembers?
I don't know. That's where it got really creepy and made me very uncomfortable.
Right? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, okay, like, kidnapping her, she looks like my wife. Ooh, I'm going to be crazy and like force her to marry me or something like that after I inject her with the virus, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, zombie wife. Anyway, also weird. But
this guy's entire thing,
the arm thing just
weird.
Really makes it like
an extra level of
like the doctor doesn't go at him, look at him, and be like, really?
No, the doctor didn't do it.
Are you sure? This is how you want to do this?
But so Leon shows up while Chris is in the hallway fighting a bunch of zombies. Leon shows up on his bike in the elevator.
With the two Cerberus.
No, he killed them in the process.
It'd just be like they're on his side now. Like,
I mean, it's Leon.
He talked. He had a conversation with them when they were riding on the bike together. What? No, never mind.
So he fights in this hallway with his motorcycle while Chris is fighting hand-to-hand combat and using a pistol. Leon and him end up both battling back and forth, and they're like, all right, what do we need to do? One of us needs to find Rebecca, the other needs to find the cure. Cool, let's do it. So they split up.
And she was the way they didn't go.
Chris goes, he finds Rebecca. Has a fight with a really big guy in a metal mask, one of the other people who was at Homeboy's wedding, his best friend.
Okay. Best man or best friend?
Best friend. I believe he was also his best man, but...
Best man friend.
Yeah. Chris thinks he killed him.
Well, there's his mistake.
Dude steps on an incendiary grenade.
So he made a fire zombie.
Yeah. And it collapsed and looked dead. Cool. He gets Rebecca. And Rebecca's like, kill me. And Chris is like, no.
I'm here to save you. Kill me. Okay. No, wait. That's not what I'm here for. I forgot.
No. You'll be fine.
She's like,
I've got 10 minutes to save you before it sets in, according to Crazy Fuck.
This arm isn't mine, Chris. What? What did you just say?
No.
This arm isn't mine.
Chris interfered before the doctor got to doing the sawing. Thankfully. So, he goes, him and Rebecca are going up trying to find the cure. Leon's looking in other parts trying to find the cure. Chris ends up running into Homeboy, the arms dealer, and they have another fight.
You know, he fights superhumans like all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Like, there's got to just be one time where he's just like, no, you walk like a normal person.
But so they have their fight, and Chris ends up on his back with the arms dealer above him, punching him on crackling roof glass above the elevator shaft.
That doesn't happen in real world.
So, at least it looked like the elevator shaft. Chris dodges the last punch. Dude's hand goes through the glass.
How does he dodge this dude?
Does that?
What? Yeah. Well, I mean, I did just say he fights a lot of superhuman people.
He goes this, and guy's hand goes through the glass next to him, and Chris just kicks him over him.
To go through the glass?
Yeah. He falls, and he splats.
Must have been quite a fall.
He splats. I was like, oh, cool. He's dead. There's still a lot of time left on this movie.
Oh my God. Does it come back like Alucard? Because that would be. Oh, really? Does he? I was kidding, and that's disappointing.
Monster.
That's still disappointing.
He comes back, and like he's about to kill Chris, and then Chris's team shows up in their helicopter thing.
He saves his ass again from this dude.
And they go to save him, and they shoot him. He turns, and he's like, motherfuckers.
Chris,
he runs at them.
Chris radios, and he's like, just crash the plane or crash the helicopter into him. And they're like, there's 4 of us in here. I'm like, and he's just like, I hope you have 4 parachutes.
So he runs at them, and he attacks the helicopter. Mm-hmm. Or technically, I think it's a Harrier, but it acts like a Harrier. It's a plane that's able to take off.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So he runs, he starts attacking them, and Chris shoots at him. He drops back down after he has them with one arm, one like spear arm thing he's got going on, and he goes to spear Chris with the other, and the elevator dings.
It's Leon on his bike. I knew it. It's Leon on his bike, and he motorcycles the bike.
Eventually, yes. At him. Eventually, yes. He throws the motorcycle at him.
He pulls Alice from Resident Evil 1?
Yes. 2?
1. That's in the church in the first movie.
That's the second movie. First movie takes place entirely in the high.
Like I just said, it's Resident Evil 2. Electric Boogaloo.
So he hits him with the bike and
shoots the gas tank and blows him up.
Boom. I just like the tail end of it. I'm like, this is why? Like, this is over the top, even for Resi.
I'm sorry. Did you watch the 4th movie?
Is that the one with the desert and the super aggressive zombies?
I'm pretty sure it's 3.
Or is that the one with the fake colony-like place under the, like, Antarctic or some
I don't
shit?
think it was supposed to be fake. I think it ended up being full of zombies. Oh, no, wait, that's right. It's full of traps and shit.
Yeah.
That's right.
That had Barry.
It was just a trap. Yeah.
Leon.
Yeah, that one had Barry in it. Yeah. I liked him.
And then Barry died.
Yeah.
I liked that Barry, though. He did a really good job.
I like that Barry, too.
But so, it's just, the entirety of that movie was just, really? And earlier in the movie, Chris had asked Leon a question. He's like, I don't know. I don't think that far ahead.
Leon said that, or Chris?
Leon said that. And he looks at the end, Leon looks at him and goes, Chris, how much longer can we keep doing this?
Chris says,
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
You know what? They just need to team up. They need to legitimately team up.
They make an amazing team.
But the thing is,
fighting in the hallway, it was phenomenal.
that's because they are like they're both really good, really experienced at doing this, and that's also inherently why they're never together.
Yeah,
because because they are so good and knowledgeable about doing this, they need to be doing it in different places.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's too much awesome in one place, and like, what are they gonna do? All the zombies disintegrated from the auras of their Goku powers.
What?
Clearly, you've not watched the latest Resident Evil movie. That's a joke. All right, what do you want to say to finish this off?
Capcom, just explain to me, why did they look younger?
They don't know. They don't think that far ahead.
Well, I suppose that's the end of the episode.
Please like, comment, follow, and share. And also, more importantly, thank you for listening.
Take care.
Bye.